Thank you for joining us today for the URA member only webinar. My name is Jennifer Clegg, and I am the Assistant Director of the Uniform Retailers Association. If you have any questions throughout this live presentation, they are welcome. So just hold on to them, and Joe is going to stop a couple times and get you guys' feedback. If you are not able to stay for the entire session, the webinar is being recorded and it will be available in a couple of weeks under webinars in the URA members only section of our website. In today's session, Joe Murphy with the Real Social Company will help you understand and increase your SEO, which is search engine optimization. Now sit back and get comfortable. Joe, the screen is all yours.
All right, or uncomfortable, whichever you
Or
think.
uncomfortable.
So, search engine optimization. First, I'm Joe with the Real Social Company. We do websites, social media, search engine optimization, marketing, all that jazz. You probably get 100 calls a day about this stuff. We get it as well. I think I get about 10 calls a day from Google Premier partners who want to help us, who is a Google Premier partner, get better at all of this stuff. But basically, search engine optimization is the kind of science of getting ranked on Google and Bing. So getting ranked means, where does your website appear when somebody searches for a product or something that's on the internet? So if you go to Google or Bing and search for uniforms, where does your listing appear? Is it on page 1? Is it on page 79? So search engine optimization are tactics you can use to increase the ranking for certain pages or for your entire website on Google and Bing. I'm going to there's a lot of generalized knowledge with this. I have a little section here that's really specific to the uniform industry. I work with a lot of uniform retailers on helping them get their pages ranked locally, and if they sell online, then internet or nationally. But first, I'm just going to touch on some of the basic things of search engine optimization. I explained to you what it was, and now I'm going to get into some of the things you can do and a little bit more in depth about what it is and how it can help you. Both of these, I have 2 books. This one here that's on the screen, you'll be able to download both of these and read through them at your leisure after the webinar. But this is the first one, Introduction to Search Engine Optimization. It's fairly long. Like we said, what is SEO? And if we look at the basics, I said SEO is where you rank on Google. If you look at this little image here, you can see whenever you search on Google, the top and the side are typically paid links. And then underneath the paid links are organic search results. Organic search results are what your search engine optimization is affecting. If you rank high on search engine optimization, or I'll call it SEO from now on, so I don't get my tongue tied, you will appear higher in this organic area. Anybody can appear number 1 or number 2 in the paid area if you have enough money or have a big budget for advertising. So SEO is the search engine optimization, which is for organic. SEM is search engine marketing, which is the paid category. We'll touch on that today, but we won't get into it too much. So as you know, everybody these days uses Google, Bing, or their preferred search engine. Those are the top 2 pretty much to find their products. When you're looking for a restaurant, you pop your phone up, you search for something close by you, you find a restaurant, you find a uniform retailer, whatever you're looking for, it's replaced the phone book. Even there's a site, yellowpages.com, they probably call you too to get listed on there to get your business because they've gone to the internet as well. Everything's online. So you should totally gear all your efforts, if you're putting any out there, to getting ranked online, getting your business out there online. Search engines work. I'm just touching all the basics. You guys probably know most of this stuff. Search engines work. You go, you type a query, they have a secret algorithm that judges your website somehow and lists you in that ranking, page 1, page 2, whatever page you're on, by what term you searched and also by your region. So when someone types uniforms in there, first it looks at around your area and tries to determine where you rank and displays your listing according to region and then nationally, depending on how your search engine optimization is. So how do they do it? All of these things, they crawl your website. Google crawls your website. Yahoo or Bing crawls your website with bots. They scan it. They look at the terms. They look at how your HTML tags are placed, like H1 tags, H2 tags, to determine, that's part of it, to determine how your page is going to rank on search. I'm touching on all this basic stuff just to get you warmed up to the things you can actually do to help you rank more effectively with your uniform store. Content on the website is one of the key things for ranking on Google and Bing. About a year ago, year and a half ago, they switched their algorithm. Initially, it was you wanted to have a page that had short form content, meaning like a paragraph, like this amount of data, and that would help you get ranked. And it really relied on meta tags and meta keywords to rank you. Now Google and Bing want long form content. So the more descriptive your content it is, the higher you will rank. And the reason that is because they're trying to provide more relevant content to the search engine user. So if your page has long form content, say you have a gray scrub, they don't want just a little paragraph that says gray scrub, size extra large. They want a big description of it. That helps you get ranked a little bit higher because they're looking for that longer content. And that's also where blogs kind of come in. We'll get to that, but I'm going to just touch on these things slowly, like I said. So content on your website helps you get ranked. What also helps you get ranked is who's linking to you. The more important a site is that links to you, these are called backlinks, helps drive up a lot of these words, you might not have heard them before, but it helps drive up an important site like say Cherokee or Amazon. If it links to you, those sites have a high domain authority. So the higher the domain authority of a website that links to you gives your website a better chance of ranking higher. So the more backlinks, incoming links to your website that you can accumulate, each one of these kind of builds that domain authority of your website to say to Google and Bing, this is an important site and it should be ranked higher. So whenever you can get some backlinks to your site, if you have organizations in your area that you're part of, or you can be on some listing that's affordable to you and get a link back to your site or swap links with another business you have, perhaps, all of those are relative in building that ranking for you. So content, who's linking to you, both of those things are very important. And one of the funny words that they use right here, people linking to you, it's called link juice. So the more people linking to you gives you link juice. I always thought that was funny, but it helps with the algorithm of how well your site will rank on search engines. And like I said, this entire book here, this course will be available to you to look through. I'm not going to read it to you. That would be quite boring, but I'm going to touch on the important aspects of it. So the important places to rank on Google, obviously, is page 1. Listings 1, 2, and 3 in the organic area. That's where you want your search engine optimization to really hit, to try to get you into those categories, because upwards of like 90% of the people will never even go to page 2 of Google. They'll look at page 1 and they'll click on one of those links that's on page 1. So that's why the investment into search engine optimization, or the time investment, not just money, the time investment into search engine optimization is so important. You want to get your page as close to the top as you can. Page 1, preferably, at least in some categories. And then, lower page 2 and 3, they also count, although most people will never go there. We talked a little bit about domain authority or authority. This course here has links built into it. So it has, if you read through it, you can go and check your domain authority. You can go and check your SEO ranking. I'm going to give you some other tools as we move along to check that stuff out. And you can do a little audit of your site. They're all free to use and give you an idea of where you rank on your site. And when we talk about SEO, a lot of people, one of the concepts of SEO that we often encounter is it's one and done. And that just isn't the case with SEO. SEO is an ongoing procedure. It is month or day to day, month to month, and it never ends. So when you deal with SEO people, you often get a large price tag. And that's because it's a long-term process. It's a lot of audits. It's a lot of work, a lot of content adjusting to continually rank your store. If you stop SEO after 6 months, you're just going to fall off that ladder and you're not going to keep those gains. You have to continually work at it to keep your gains where you've reached. You can't just do it one time and forget about it. Any questions so far? I haven't talked about a lot, but questions, anything people want to touch on as I move through this?
I have one question. What about the Google? Because, with the Google searches, nowadays, as many people search on Google Maps as they do on the Google feeds. Does SEO, is there any way to do SEO related to Google Maps search? Yeah,
so you're right. Google My Business, what it's officially called, that has maps in it and search and your Google My Business profile, that's considered local SEO. And all of your general SEO helps boost your local SEO presence. And one of the first things you want to do as a business or as a uniform store, any business, is build that Google My Business profile up as much as you can. And on my list of things to do, let me switch over to that real quick. I'm going to stop sharing this and share something else here. Where's that? Can everybody see this little note I have here? So one of the best things you can do for your business is build your Google My Business. That'll get you listed on maps, get your listing verified on Google My Business. And the second best thing you can do on there is get reviews. Reviews are going to give you amazing search engine optimization results. So in my little basic, can everyone see this here? Yes. So in my little list of notes, this one here is probably, after building your Google My Business profile, is getting reviews. And I suggest this to almost every uniform store I work with, is make little signs around your store that have a QR code so people can instantly leave you reviews, and tie this into your checkout process. Train yourself, train your employees that when someone checks out, say, hey, I'm glad you shopped here today. Would you mind leaving us a review? And if you have a QR code, almost everybody can do it within 60 seconds. They don't have to type something out, although it helps quite a bit. They can even leave 4 stars, 5 stars. Those reviews are so critical to your local SEO results and your ranking on Google My Business. So I tell people, go to this free QR code generator, make QR codes, stick them in your dressing room, stick them up by the front register. You could put them on the back of your business cards. They're so critical to SEO, it's crazy. So definitely, this will all be shared to you. You can take a picture of it. But QR5, if you just search free QR code on Google or Bing, there's a million sites that do it. If you have Canva, you can generate a QR code in Canva. but incorporate that review structure into your checkout process and across your store. Make a little area of your store. They could take pictures. It has the review sign, has your name. That's going to help incredibly. And those reviews, when people are on the Google My Business, they can leave reviews on the maps as well. When they're at the map, they can check in. That gives you a little link juice, Google local juice. And Google tracks when people come into your business as well. So all of that stuff helps build that local Google presence. But the very first step, and a lot of people don't do it, is verify your Google My Business profile. Make sure you're in the right categories on Google My Business. And what a lot of people don't know is on Google My Business, you can actually leave posts like you can on Facebook and Instagram. It's called an update, and an update can be an offer. It could be a sale you're doing, or it could just be a photo. So you can leave a photo that says, visit my uniform store. Here's what we have going on this week. You can leave an offer for the next month. We're having 10% off of whatever, Barco, Adar, whatever you're doing. And you can also upload new images of your store. So the more you're kind of active with that Google My Business profile, the better it's going to affect you locally on SEO. That's all the local stuff, totally controlled by the Google My Business profile. But never forget that Bing on this list here, where's it at here? Bing has a webmaster tools too. It has a Bing My Business. So you want to make sure you go over to Bing and set up your site just like you would on Google. And Bing will let you pull all the data from your Google account, so it makes it real easy to do. And I bring up Bing. You might not use Bing, but if you look at the numbers, about 20% of the people are using Yahoo and Bing to search for things. And you don't want to lose those customers. So you want to be set up on Yahoo and Bing as well. Go to Bing Webmaster Tools, set up your business there. They will use the bots to scan your site just like Google does. And that helps you get that SEO, more links coming in, and people find you on Bing just as well. That's all with the local SEO stuff going on. Let me go through this one. These notes here I have for uniform service. So like I said, make sure you're set up on Google My Business. Google also has a tool called Google Search Console, and it's under their Webmaster Tools section. The link will be available to you. It's free to use. And what it does is it lets you upload your site there, and it lets you link to your site maps. So it lets Google index your site easier. So if something's changed on a page on your site, Google will find it quicker than waiting for their bots to come find you. You'll immediately notify Google that you've made a change to something, uploaded a new product, maybe change locations, whatever you have. It just tells Google, hey, it's available right now, go index it. Helps that ranking quite a bit. Now on Google My Business, on Google Search Console and Bing Search Console, the tools that are on Bing, it has an area where you could upload a sitemap. A lot of your softwares will generate sitemaps for you, but if they do not, I made a link here of a place you could generate sitemaps for your website. If you're using Sellers Commerce or Uniform Solutions, those typically generate sitemaps for you. But this lets you make one specific. If you want to make specific changes to it, this can do that for you. Or if you don't use any of those platforms, if you use something else, you can use this to generate a sitemap. If you're using something like WordPress or Joomla or some other kind of CMS software for your store, there are plugins you can download that generate sitemaps for you. Then all you have to do at this Search Console, Google Search Console or the Bing, is there's a section, add a sitemap. You put the link to your sitemap, boom, you're being indexed instantly whenever you change that. And you can put a time on there. How often does that sitemap change? It's usually every 24 hours. Let me touch on the rest of these. So there's the Bing one. There's the Google My Business, the sitemaps. Something else that a lot of people don't realize is posting on social media generates to Google and Bing what are called social signals. Social signals are a real minor ping to Google and Bing that your store and your website is active. So if you have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a Google My Business page, you should be doing posts to those, organic posts. You don't have to do any paid advertising. Every day, post something about your store. It tells your followers that something's happening at your store's busy, it's active, and it does the same thing to Google and Bing. It tells Google and Bing, hey, this store's active, they're doing stuff, they're posting. It's a very minor thing, but the more you post, the more return you'll get from it over time. Stay active on that social media. I see a lot of people will open a social media for their store and their last post was 4 months ago. Big no-no. Post as frequently as you can. A little side tangent, what you can post when you're opening new boxes of uniforms, post that. If you have new product come in, post that. Have your employees do some videos of people, post that. You know, you got to kind of make it fun, because to you it'll get monotonous, but to the people viewing it, by the algorithm and statistically, they see like, they'll see your post 1 out of 7 times. So you could post something 7 times, they say, before someone actually views it. Just like a TV commercial. Why do they play TV commercials over and over again? So it sinks in. Think of your social media and your updates the same way. You want to do those posts to social media, update your website to generate that activity that shows your business is active and busy. All of those things generate those social signals, which are very important to your SEO locally and, you know, just general SEO. This is the link to the QR code. I'm going to share this. This is a book you can take a look at that we wrote about SEO, all basic stuff you can know and learn about it. One thing I will say, if you're using, I'm not knocking any softwares, but if you're using Uniform Solutions or Sellers Commerce, they have a tendency to, they do have alt and meta tags, but they'll have a tendency to let you put it in once and it'll duplicate that for just about everything. Like if it'll, let me give you an example. So say you have a gray Cherokee, scrub top, excuse me. It'll let you put in alt and meta tags like scrub store, I sell scrubs, what have you like that. And then every tag for Cherokee will be product name dash scrub store, I sell scrubs. You want to take advantage, and it's time consuming, but it'll help you incredibly. Take advantage of the alt and meta tags on each page to try to make different descriptions if you can. You know, it's going to be hard because you're selling a lot of the same type of products, but you want those to be different. You don't want them to propagate from that default value they give you in these proprietary softwares. WordPress does it as well. All these big sites do it. Because it's, you don't want to do it. You don't want to go in and enter alt and meta tags for all this stuff, but it's so important to do it. And the reason why is because it differentiates that page, and also, once again, letting Google know, and you'll get pinged if your alt and meta tags, even though they don't rely on those as much as they used to, you will get pinged if those are all duplicated. So you want to try to generate different content for all that alt and meta tags, page names, page titles, and things like that as you're building your site or adjusting your site. Now, like I said, this is a lot of work. If you're selling 30,000 products, you're going to go in and do this 30,000 times? Probably not, but say you have new products, you could start now and try to do this on some new products, changing these things for newer things that come in, and using the analytics, the reporting of whatever software you have, you can see the change that it'll make when people are searching for these products. Those things will come up more frequently. You'll see more people visiting those pages, and that'll kind of give you the gumption to go and change other things that are happening that you have on your store, because it makes a huge difference. Never try to replicate those across, although almost every software platform tells you to do it that way. So another way to get excellent local SEO and general search engine optimization juice is a blog or a news category on your website. So once again, I go back, we talked about long form content. Long form content is like 500 words or more. Anytime you can post a blog about new products or new things that your store is doing, say you get a delivery every week, post a blog about it and try to make it over 500 words. That'll really boost up your local presence by providing more pages for Google and Bing to search and to index for your website. I just gave a lot of information, so I'm going to stop and see if people have questions, comments.
I have one question. So when you were mentioning about the reviews, so when you
Yes.
respond to the reviews, does that actually count? Does that do anything as far?
Yes, you should respond to every review. All of those things make a big difference. And your response can, generally try to change it up. Don't do a canned response. All of those words are indexed. So if you have, thank you very much, you just paste it into everyone. That doesn't help. Try to leave a descriptive response. Any way you can get a descriptions and relevance to your content is going to help your SEO, especially locally. But those reviews are just so important. I
And
can't
then-
stress that enough for your local SEO.
And then with that, about with the reviews though, so if you do if you respond to a review, and then say if you do a Google post, does that count as that you're doing something for that day? Because you were saying how each day you want to have some type of movement or activity.
I feel that getting the review is key, but the post will be second above your response to the review.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion, just from looking at SEO rankings. But the reason we say respond to the reviews, it does give you that little bit of time to, first off, you can leave a review and make the customer feel good. You can also indicate other products that they might like. You can use the review for kind of like a little ad. You don't have to just say thank you. You could say, hey, I'm glad you like the jogger scrub. We're getting some new ones in next week. That'll generate a lot of stuff for you. Like all of that helps. But yeah, reviews first, focus on reviews for SEO. Try to get your posts out there 2 or 3 times a week if you can. I suggest daily, but I know that's not for everybody. And then always respond to those reviews, even the negative ones. With negative reviews, we say, turn it into a positive. You've all heard that before, right? And that's hard to do sometimes. And that's not really SEO, but try to respond. You don't want to respond to the person with more flame wars. You came in, you sucked, you smelled bad, and I didn't want you trying on the, hey, next time you come in, we have a free shower available. So, you try to turn all of that into positivity for your store. And they say like upwards of 88% of people statistically read the reviews to see how you respond to customers and customer feedback. And before they come into your store, people are probably looking at your reviews. So when you're active on your reviews, they're thinking in the back of their head, this place is active. They know what they're doing. They're answering the reviews. They're helping people out, and you'll get a good response from that. That activity of being on social, updating your website, responding to reviews, and it's a lot. I mean, you can be active you could spend all your time doing this stuff every single day. So what we always recommend for SEO is focus on your key things. Google My Business being number 1. And then if your thing is Yelp, make that your number 2. If your thing is Facebook, make that, everyone, you should always be posting, but if you get a lot of customers from Facebook, make that your second priority. Take it down to 2 or 3 things you can do well, rather than I need to be on Yelp, Google, Bing, Yellow Pages, all this stuff. Pick your top 2 or 3 and really focus on those so you could do it well. And that return will come to you SEO wise and just customer wise. And your customers will know when they see you're active on those different platforms, that's where they're going to address you. If you're active on Facebook or TikTok or whichever one, they're going to come from that direction to address you. They're not going to go over here and post on Pinterest that you've never posted on, or maybe once a year post on. So pick those things and focus on them, because that'll generate the good SEO that you're looking for. Now, these are all the basic things I tell everybody to do. But back to, let me switch back over here to the other one, wherever I went. So back to like your website. So we talked about Google My Business. We talked about trying to get reviews. We talked about replying to reviews, posting on all these platforms. The same is for your website. The key is this activity, making sure your website is changing and adjusting. If your website is there and nothing is happening, you're not going to really see any change on Google. You're not going to increase your ranking. You'll probably lose ranking because Google will think your site is kind of dead. It's not being visited. Making simple changes to your website at least once a week, changing front page images, adjusting maybe your message or some product descriptions. When you get the product descriptions downloaded, they're often very canned. If you could start changing those slowly, you'll see in your analytics that your SEO will start increasing for those products or for your general website. If you can change the images on the front page of your website at least monthly, that's going to help incredibly. You want an active site that people use, and that's where the blogs come in. Now, with blogs, you can post your updates. You can post things happening in your store. You can even post things in your local area to boost that like a local SEO presence. What I tell people with the blogs is people will read some of the blogs or part of the blogs, maybe all of it if it's something very interesting, but the blogs are really to generate that traffic content, that traffic flow, like, hey, my site's busy. We're posting blogs 2 or 3 times a week about our uniforms. That's telling Google, hey, that site changes a lot. Index, index, index that site. Look how active they are. And when that content is changing and more, you're seeing more visitors appearing in your analytics and reporting, Google's going to notice that as well and slowly start ranking your site higher. The more visitors you get, the better chance you have of getting a higher search ranking. Involved with all this stuff. I mean, it can go on forever, realistically. You can do a million things to get #1. And what I always warn people, if you get someone who calls you or an SEO company that says, we're going to make you #1, disregard that company. There's no company out there that can make you #1 except with advertising. It's just, even Google on in their help section, they'll tell you nobody can make you #1. The algorithm is secret. They can do their best for you to see positive action, positive upward momentum for your rankings, but no one can guarantee you to be on the first page. It's virtually impossible. So if you get a call like that, don't trust them, just hang up on them immediately. Let me look where we're at here in this. Any questions before I move on to some of the keyword stuff? All right, so about 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, keywords were effective. So you would say scrubs. But as the long form content that I mentioned earlier is now the popular thing, long tail keywords are popular. So, scrub jogger pants instead of just scrubs. So when you're making your descriptions in the keyword and the SEO areas provided for you by your software, make sure you're using these long tail keywords or key phrases that people use to find you, because most people aren't going to go on Google and just type scrubs. They're going to type, blue jogger pants or Cherokee blue jogger pants. You want those to be your key long tail keywords and key phrases in your software. The general ones are okay, but the more targeted you could get with your descriptions, the better it's going to affect your SEO ability and the better it's going to affect your ranking. This content is king section. That's what I told you about before. Long form content, the more descriptive, the more in depth you can get with your descriptions and content is going to make you rank higher on Google. Or give you a, let me say, it's going to give you a better chance to rank higher on Google. Like I said, nobody can guarantee you're going to rank higher. It's a lot of work and it never stops. So I said that before. This book or this little course here gives you tactics for your homepage. Use your homepage as your overall value proposition, what you're doing, what you're selling, who you are, that type of thing. Product and service pages, make sure those descriptions are in key phrases that people are using to search for. Make sure your scrub descriptions, if you're downloading them from the booklet, make sure they all have good imagery and good descriptions. You could keep the description that they give you, maybe have a paragraph or two you can add to that. That gives it a longer descriptive purpose related back to your store and your overall purpose for your store. See here, the blog, we talked about the blog. Blogs help with that content generation, also helps with the keywords. If you keep your, or keyword density, if you keep your blogs related to uniforms, nursing, scrubs, it keeps it, the keyword density in that area and helps push your website higher SEO wise. We talked about how to develop your SEO strategy to focus it on your main object, like 2 or 3 main things that you can give a lot of time to instead of spreading yourself too thin. We all know these. I run a business. The business is doing this kind of stuff and it's hard to touch all the places. So I focus on social media. I focus on Google My Business and I focus on my advertising. I don't care about Yelp. I don't care about all these other, I focus on the things that are working for me and that I like to use, that I have fun with. On-page SEO, this little course will give you examples of how to build good on-page SEO. Some of this stuff is already done for you, like URL structure. A lot of the proprietary uniform packages that you're using today or content management systems like WordPress already build this stuff in. In the old days, which is 5 years ago, you'd go to a website and it would say www.joesuniform / ? quote, and then maybe a name of uniform. Now they'll say joesuniforms.com / Cherokee Scrubs 5055, or whatever you put in for that title, key or keywords in there, key phrases. That's the URL structure. That's where all of these little things make such a difference. When you're adding these different descriptors to your website in the meta area, in the phrases, on page for the density of those keyword phrases, all of these things are going to make a difference in your SEO. Questions, comments before I talk about pictures? So imagery, all of us have images on the website. And the more you can use your own images, the better. So if you get a new set of scrubs, you'll probably get something from the vendor, which is perfect. But if you can rename these images or use your own images that have good names, like a picture that's called picture123.jpg is not descriptive. If it could say Cherokee Jogger Scrubs 5055.jpg, or whatever your picture is, PNG, whatever, that gives you another chance to boost that SEO. Pictures are very critical. And there's also a thing called alt tags right here. Most of the softwares have an area where you can add alt tags. So, and the alt tags will default to the picture name. So if the picture is named something relevant to the content and your alt tags are relevant to the content, it'll help boost that SEO. So alt tags and picture names are very important. Try not to just upload or use generic picture names. And if you could go in and change the picture names on your software, do so. So when you download them from your phone, they probably come image 1, image 2, image 3. Rename those before you upload to what it is. Cherokee Scrub 5055 jogger. Then put that picture on your site. And if you have the default images from the manufacturer or vendor, plus some additional images, that's going to give you that added boost for that product. Try doing some of this stuff with 10 products. And then over a 3-month period, watch the reporting, and you'll see these 3 products start doing a lot better than the generic products you haven't changed. That's what's really key to SEO, is watching the reporting. And another reason why SEO is expensive is because it's that constant watching of the reporting and auditing this content to continually boost the ranking of your website and of your products on Google. But try it with just a few things, watch it for 3 months, see it go up in reporting, and that'll give you the little boost. Hey, I need to change some other stuff, and I'll start seeing better results for it. So picture names, alt tags. Like I said, all this will be available for you to download. You can read through this. There's a lot of things like should be 75 characters. There's a lot of little rules in there. This all has that in there. I'm not going to go into all of the details for all this stuff. Meta descriptions, oftentimes we talked about a little bit earlier, when you get them from the vendor, it'll be a canned description. The better you can make that, the more relevant and localized you can make that to your store, the better. Does everybody use, what softwares is everyone using? Does anybody use anything other than Uniform Solution or Seller's Commerce? You just nod, or?
Seller's Commerce for me. I'm sorry, Uniform Solution for me. I used Seller's Commerce at one time, but just didn't work out that well. One of the concerns I do have with Uniform Solution is, how would I be able to put a blog on it? Is there any way that you'd recommend being able to put those on?
So, yes, it's complicated. So with Uniform Solutions, you can build what's called a wrapper. So a wrapper is a website that kind of sits around your Uniform Solutions, and then you have an area that says shop. So we recommend WordPress wrappers. So it's a full website around your store. And then when they click shop, it drops them into Uniform Solutions. That way you could get all the benefits of modern SEO and local SEO of the WordPress solution, but still maintain the usability of Uniform Solutions or even Seller's Commerce by being underneath that website wrapper. And it's not really expensive. It's just adjusting your DNS. You could probably do it for about $300, but it really adds a lot to your store. And many of the people I work with are doing that type of thing now, because inside of Uniform Solutions, I think they're looking at some blog options, but right now you have to make this whole, it's a complicated task to make a blog in Uniform Solutions currently. Now, I could be wrong on where they're going, but you have to make a new page, type something out. It's not very user-friendly currently, but that wrapper solution gives you a very robust website that lets you link into products, lets you blog, and then when they click shop, they could drop right into whatever platform you're using. And it's not too hard to do. But the bonus of that is just getting all of the latest, like when you're using WordPress or Joomla, one of the newer open source content management softwares, they have the latest and greatest SEO techniques. You can use all the great stuff that maybe is lacking in whatever proprietary software you're using for selling. So just that little wrapper helps quite a bit. Linking inside of your store, internal links are one of the on-page SEO things. So if you have the ability in your shop to do recommended products, or also purchased with kind of solutions in your store, or in the description text, you can provide a link to another product. This is called internal linking, and it's internal linking boosts your local on-page SEO quite a bit. Any page that we build for people, we try to put 2 to 3 internal links on each page. Once again, it's a process, but it helps quite a bit. Like an internal link can be something like, hey, do you like this Cherokee jogger, blah, 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 blah. You could just link Cherokee to the Cherokee category on Uniform Solutions or whatever platform you're using. That's considered an internal link. It just links somewhere else within your website to boost that page's SEO score. I've seen pages go from like, we have like a ranking system. So a page will have a 50% SEO rank. By adding 3 internal links, it'll jump up over 85%, just because that's what Google likes. And Bing, as Google and Bing, they love internal linking. So people could get around within your content, and it's related, and they like that. The user who is searching for Cherokee or Scrubs has the ability to find like content on your website. The real focus these days is on getting the exact thing the user is searching for with the best possible answer. That's Google and Bing love that right now. So internal linking is quite important. Let's see, what time are we at here? I can't, let's see.
2:46
When did we, I can't remember, how much time do we have?
till 3 or yeah. So
Off
much
page-
information.
It's a lot of stuff. I don't want to like overwhelm everybody. I'm trying to give you like the basic key things here. Off-page SEO, that's the backlinks that you can get brought into your site. The more you can get other people to link to you is going to help your off-page SEO. Bringing those links into your shop. If you have someone who runs a coffee shop, talk to them about exchanging links. If you could get people to, if you can get a spot to blog on another site about uniforms or nursing and then link back to your site in your local area, that's off-page SEO. All that stuff helps. And I'll just touch on it again. It can be a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but if you really want to boost your store up on SEO, these are the things you have to do. You really have to focus on these 1 to 2 things or 3 things, and just give it your go. Make it part of your daily practice, your checkout line to ask for reviews. Put the links up for reviews. Whenever you're talking to somebody local, say, hey, can I tag you on Facebook? Would you mind linking me on your website? All of those little things help in boosting that SEO and getting your local or national SEO presence up quite a bit. And it's hard, like some, if you're an independent retailer, I'm an independent retailer. It's hard. I'm never going to beat GoDaddy. Like, we host, but I'm never going to be at that level. But all of these little things help because they boost me locally and boost for the people that I want to work with. And those are probably the people that you're trying to work with too. The local people who support your store. They're going to be visiting maybe the coffee shop up the street, maybe the whatever you have around you. So the more you can interact with that and build your local presence through backlinks back to your shop, or even word of mouth, all that stuff is great. I wouldn't try to focus on whatever the big, we won't mention the name of the scrub store online. You're not going to beat them. It's impossible, but you can win locally. You can look at your competitor locally, and any of these little things, even if you could just do one of them, is going to help you so much more for your online shop, because they might not be doing it. And when I look at and do audits of people's websites, most people don't do hardly any of this stuff. So if you can pick 1 or 2 things to really focus on and change on your site, it's going to help a lot. Even if that is, I'm going to update my site every week. I'm going to put some new pictures up each week. That's going to help you incredibly. All of that is going to build your SEO and help you build traffic. And thus, what's the goal? Sales. Getting the traffic in, getting people to know where you are, getting those ticks on the map, Google Maps, getting reviews on Google My Business. All of that helps your sales. And that's what we're all here for in the long run. SEO is about sales. Any questions? If not, this thing that I'm going to let you download and the other book, it has tons of free resources that you can get to run audits on your site, that you could help build links. All of it's free. Of course, you have the ability to pay for all this stuff, but just about everything in here is a free resource you can use to check things on your site. Of course, we do this for a living. If you do want professional help, there's probably companies around you. There's us, there's all kinds of people who can do this for you, but there are free resources you can utilize to check this stuff, to check your meta tags, to check your keyword density, who is linking to you. All this stuff is available for free online. So all of that will be in this this little book here. It's about 40 pages. And I'm going to include another one that we wrote. It's called Engagement Using Google My Business for Local SEO. It has a lot of the same tips and some other tricks you can use. And you can look through it at your leisure and just use what you can. But we're on the URA website. If you have questions, we answer questions for free. We're at the URA convention every year. You can ask us questions, ask us for help. We're always, advice is always free from us. So if you ever need anything, you can reach out.